What is up? I'm super excited. Oh, see? Yay, everybody. So we're actually going to do a working call. So this is a good one to have recorded, and you can come back to it at any time. We're not going to do a full power hour, but we're going to do, a couple of the really important chunks. And we're kind of going to do it interactively. So, a lot of us are going to struggle with certain parts of it, and we can talk about it. We might ask for a screen share. We'll see. We'll see how Dawn and I feel as we go. But I don't know if you guys got your list or brought them. If not, just start thinking about people now, because later you're going to need a list. But the first thing we're going to do, even if you are still using your warm market, and even I still have a warm market of people that I haven't touched, we need to always be expanding and growing so you don't run out of people to talk to, because otherwise that will definitely happen. So the first activity that Dawn and I thought would be good to have you do is go into Facebook and add 3 new people. Sometimes they say try to make sure that they're not mutual friends with a Beachbody coach or anything like that, but Dawn and I like to say don't worry about it, because they may not be working with that coach. You don't know, so just go find 3 new people. I'm going to give you guys like 5 minutes tops to do this, okay? Go.
As you're doing that, I totally go into like friends lists, and I'm like, if I know anybody from a friends list, that's where I add. So much easier that way. Because I'm like,
Also, just as an aside, write down who you've added, because we're going to be intentional with this. We're not just randomly adding people for the sake of having the most friends on Facebook. At some point, the idea is that you are going to reach out and you are going to talk to these people, okay? So make sure you put them on a list somewhere, okay? I see people writing names down. This makes me happy. I'm going to give you guys 2 more minutes. If you're starting to feel creepy as you do this, just a little quick thing. You have something that someone needs. This has changed your life. This has been an amazing blessing to you. If you see someone that you think you can help, it's not creepy, it's helpful. I'm helping. All right, kiddos, kidinskis, we're going to wrap that one up. If you didn't get 3, that's okay. If you got more, that's great. Sometimes friends pop up in Facebook and you can add them then, and you kind of fill in the gap that way. But the idea, if you even just add 1 a day or 1 a week in this power hour, just think of what could happen. So The next one, and this is one where we're going to be intentional as well, and Dawn and I maybe next week will talk a little bit about something that we just discovered, but you're going to find a new group to join. And I'm not, I know it's super easy to find like a local buy-sell trade page and just join it and move on, but I want you guys to be a little bit intentional in this, so I'm going to give you a couple minutes. Maybe it's a mom group, maybe it's a Christian group, maybe it's a military wife group, maybe it's a dog group, maybe it's a local walk-run club, maybe it's like a feeding the babies, healthy eating, maybe you like knitting. The idea is to find a group with people you can relate to, and then you're going to start at some point adding value. You're not going to throw your link out there and be weird and salesy. We're not ever going to ask you to do that. We're actually going to ask you not to. But you are going to find a group and intentionally at some point start making friends in that group and building relationships. So just one group. And I'm just like 2 minutes. Just find one group. She may have found one while I was just yakking away there. Who knows? You guys are smart. Cool. If you found a group, great. If not, something to consider in your daily activities. Finding a good group and slowly, and maybe like this one, find a new group maybe once a week, once a month. Don't add 50,000 groups and start overwhelming yourself. That's not necessary. The next thing we're going to do, hopefully you guys have a list that you can look at. We're going to send 3. It says, hey girl. It can be guys. It can be friend, whatever. This is just a reach out, going to get in touch with these people. So you're going to go find 3 people and just reach out and say, hey. And this is where we start really putting in work and building relationships. So I'm going to give us 5 minutes. Take 3 people off your list and check in with them. Okay, here we go. By the way, these are not current customers. These are prospects, people that we don't work with yet. Just throwing that out there.
So I totally wasn't listening to you, Christine, on these. Did you? Did you explain that these are not like, hey, come join my challenge group, but it's just reaching out and connecting with?
I did not specifically explain that. We're just
Are we on the Hey Girl, or did I?
No, that's what we're on. Yeah.
Okay. So guys, when you're doing your Hey Girl, this is your chance to just shoot messages to random people that maybe you haven't talked to in a while. And it's super helpful when you go to their page and you kind of make a comment like, hey, your name popped up on my, at the top of my friends list. I haven't talked to you in a while. Like, how's it going? And then refer something back to their page. The reason you're doing this is you're going to start conversations with them, but now your stuff is going to start showing up in their feed, and it's going to start to generate some kind of interest. Anyway, just saying. Sorry I wasn't listening.
No, that's okay. You might have been doing some conducive work, so that's cool. And another thing, too, if you are not sure where to look for a list of names, check out people who have liked your posts, liked your page, commented on your stuff. Cool. You guys are awesome. I'm going to give you one last minute, just in case. And if you guys start to have any really awesome conversations, don't feel like you need to stay on point with the power hour. If you start building an awesome conversation, stick with that and catch up on your power hour stuff later. So the next activity, so hopefully somewhere in between this Hey Girl message that you have hopefully been sending, you have developed a relationship and you are ready to send a couple invites to people. Now, here's where I know everyone gets like, so what we're gonna do, we're all together now. I'm gonna sit up tall. We're gonna put our chest up. We're gonna pull our shoulders back. We're gonna take a big, deep breath. And we're gonna remember that Dawn looks silly with her tongue out. We're gonna remember that without this, our lives would be different. How? With this, our life is different now. In what ways? Why does someone need this? Because before we send that message, we need to be confident and we need to be intentional with what we are doing, because we're not sheepish. We're proud. We're loud and proud because this is such a blessing. Okay? 3 invites. Hey, I've got this going on. Have you seen it? Would you be interested? And with the question, on your marks, get set, go. 5 minutes. Hopefully you guys are kind of marking down that you've, invited these people and taking notes so that you can follow up in a couple days. You're keeping track, whether it's pen and paper or whatever your method is. As you guys are doing this real quick, just how are you feeling? Are you nervous? Are you struggling to find people to invite? Is it easy? Talk to me, Goose. Good. Okay.
You can unmute yourself if you want to say something, Carolyn.
Yeah.
You can talk.
I thought you wanted me to mute myself. So I'm like trying to do sign language over here.
You're so cute.
You know?
No, just mute in between.
Okay. And just so everybody knows, I'm on my cell phone doing this.
Oh, dang.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah. I have 3 people. One's already responded, and I'm talking to her now.
That's awesome. Good. Now, were you nervous inviting, or were you like, yeah, whatever, I'm inviting you, and it's not a big deal?
Yeah, I was not nervous.
Oh, bam. I get nervous, so good for you. That's awesome. What about you, Tech? How you doing, girl?
I've been doing okay. I have a lot of crickets. I've had a lot of like new people on my business page that I don't even know who they are. So I've been reaching out to them. It's like, obviously you liked my business page, so trying to make connections, and it's just crickets all the time. So I don't know.
I have a lot of those too. I don't, and sometimes they turn into something and sometimes they turn into nothing. Crickets are super normal. As long as you stay consistent on your business page with your posting and stuff, the ones that are meant to not be crickets will come around. One thing I do want to say about crickets, we tend to get stuck on them. Why aren't they messaging me back? What did I do? What could I have done? It's okay to assess, but the best thing to do is, send that quick, hey, how are you doing message to check it in and move on to the next person. Don't get stuck on someone that's not responding because someone else still needs you. So the crickets are normal. I actually just messaged a cricket now that you just said that, and it was the same thing. It was a person I didn't know who actually said they wanted to come to my event, and we'd been talking, and now I'm at Crickets. So I actually am going to give you guys what I just sent her. It's called, Dawn, it's called The Ringer. I sent her The Ringer, and this is what I said. I hope you're doing well. I'm thinking you've either been really busy or perhaps I offended you in some way during our chat. If I offended you, I'm so sorry. Hopefully you've just been busy. Usually, if people think that, they'll say, oh no, you didn't offend me. I've just been busy, and you might be able to reopen the door there. So just a little, we call it The Ringer. Cool.
I was also going to say, with your business page, Tess, did you friend those people first, or are you not friends and messaging?
Good question.
A few of them I am friends with. As soon as they liked my business page, I went and friend requested them. A few are still just new, and I friend requested them as well as sent them a message.
Right.
So I got the same.
If you're not friends yet, there's a good chance they're not seeing your message unless you saw that it was actually read, because Facebook does that sometimes. So
Okay.
I've actually, with a couple people, and you'll get a read for your people, like I've had people that were like good conversations, crickets. And then they'd come back and we'd have good conversations and then crickets. And I sent Christine as a joke the other day, but I've actually sent it to 2 or 3 people. And it's the meme that says, where'd you go, Goose? Or what did it
Talk
say?
to me, Goose.
Talk to me, Goose. So I've shot that picture out and I'm like, hey, like, where'd you go? What happened? Like, do you want information or not? Just let me know. If you don't, I'll leave you alone. If you do, let me get it to you.
And it does work because sometimes she'll get crickets from me and she sent it to me and I wrote back LOL and she wrote back, see, it does work. And I was like, damn it. So.
And so, I mean, just sometimes people are like, oh, that's sort of funny. But you have to know, I mean, if you don't know them, and you'll get a feel for your people as you communicate. But yeah, I save that meme. I think it's funny.
That's a good one.
That is funny.
So speaking of those crickets and stuff, we're going to send 3 follow-ups. They can be something as simple as, hey, just checking in, how are you doing? Or you can be, right to it. Hey, I just wanted to see if you had any more thoughts, or I just wanted to see if you had any questions. Try to end with the questions so they have to respond. I'm going to give you 4 minutes because I want to honor your time. So quick, 3 follow-ups. Go.
It may go without saying, but before you follow up with people, always check their page first. I've done that with a couple that I was getting ready to send messages to, and then like the one girl last week, I saw that her grandmother passed away, and they were out of town. And so just be mindful, just kind of check real quick before you follow up with people. Plus, it gives you something that you can end with a question on. Because that would have made me look like a pretty big jerk.
Unless you had just checked in with a how have you been, then you're safe. Yeah. But yeah, if you're gonna go in, might want to look. Good advice.
Yeah, I was crushing his head there.
I totally did. I was laughing so hard. I was totally watching you. This was funny. Oh,
Work shenanigans. What can I say?
you gotta do it. You gotta do it. I love work calls. These are fun. All right. If you didn't get 3 follow-ups out, just finish later. I want to make sure we get through, especially the last one. So the next thing I want you guys to do, and this is another one of those. So earlier we sent invites. Now you're gonna go ask for commitments. So those of you who have people that have been like on the fence, kind of wavering, thinking, pretty sure they want to do it, but they just haven't done it yet. This is your opportunity to remind them of a deadline. Hopefully you guys have a challenge group coming up with a deadline. So, I mean, right now we're at the point in the month where if you have something starting the beginning of December, they might want to get their order in soon to make sure they get stuff in time, right? Right. So just go get 3 commitments. Honestly, if you guys can get one person to say yes on this call, I will do a happy dance for you, okay? Like the most dorkiest happy dance ever. So we're going to spend a couple minutes doing that, and then we're going to do one last thing. Cool?
And a no commitment is okay.
Yes, just get them to say yes or no. Oh my goodness.
That's the worst is when you're hanging on because I do it all the time. I get fixated on that one person, and then I stop looking to everybody else out there that is ready to go. So a no doesn't mean no forever, but if you have a no, then you can at least move on from them for a short period of time. Bam.
Is that Sawyer? Hi, Sawyer.
He's whiny because he wants food, but he eats. But he's a bored eater. He's always hungry.
Oh, I have that in my house. Case asked for food 3 times since we started this call, so I get it.
It's like you just ate. You're not hungry.
Mom.
He is hungry.
He's clearly starving. You need to feed him. Come on.
I don't say it that nicely when it's my husband.
You just ate.
Like, really? Really, you want food?
All right, ladies, how's that going? Is it going okay? Awkward? Good? I love the thumbs up. We're going to do one last thing, and Dawn is more the social media expert because she's the queen of consistency. She shakes her head. She is. Do you want to talk about social media? I feel like I've blurred the whole time.
That's okay. We want to be mindful about what we're doing on social media because we know as we're reaching out to these people that we're talking to, first thing we're doing is, scrolling through their page. So we want to make sure that on our pages, if we are connecting with somebody and they go to say, oh, I haven't heard from Carolyn in like years. I wonder what she's up to. We want it to be clear within the first couple posts that you're doing something health and fitness. And so we need to be mindful of those things. Where I'm really good at is posting regularly. Where Christine's really good at is making sure that what she's posting is hitting the people that she's trying to reach and the words she's using. She's not just posting for the heck of posting. So you want to have some consistency. So what I want you guys to do now is just create a post that's going to get some engagement where you're asking for a call to action or a question. Just like Christine says, when we message these people, we're asking a question so they have to respond. Ask something on your social media. It may flop. For Thirsty Thursday yesterday, I did a picture of me drinking water and said, hey, in the groups that I'm in, it's Thirsty Thursday. And I had my sweet Wonder Woman glass. And I said, do you drink more water when you're drinking out of a certain glass? Post a picture of, whatever. But it's clear that I was doing a group, that I was being mindful of my water intake. So think of a post that you can do and craft it. And then share it. Like we can screen share or you can tell us what you're thinking so that you have something that you can schedule to post later today or have it ready to go tomorrow. Does that make sense? Is that all you wanted, Christine, or were you looking for something brilliant? Because I got nothing. No brilliance.
Don't overthink social media. If you are in a moment and you have something impactful and powerful to say, then do it. Sometimes you're just sharing your sweaty selfies. Sometimes you have a cute little quote to put on it. If you follow top coaches, you don't ever want to copy them, but they can give you some good ideas if you've got nothing in your brain. But you guys all have something special to give the world. So at least once a week, the idea is that they see our heart, I think. So go for it.
So I just shot you guys a cheesy picture where like Tess is posed for it that you can totally use in a social media post, especially Carolyn, like you're at work. Hey, I'm working a part, you can somehow incorporate what you're doing into, inviting somebody to the business opportunity or talking about that you're a coach. Hey, I'm a coach and look, I can spend a half an hour a couple times a week and build a viable business. And then, of course, Tess, you're working from home with your kid all cuddled on you and getting stuff done. I mean, shoot. And your kid's cute. See, if I had a kid, it wouldn't be cute and it wouldn't be helpful to me. That's why I need these dogs.
Look at it. He's making faces now that he knows he's cute.
It's not good having cute kids. When he's a brat.
Oh, I have that problem. I have case, and we very much have that issue in my home. Mm-hmm.
And it's like they do something, and it's like, stop it! You are so handsome. Like I can't even be upset with you right now. It's not good.
Not good. And then other people around are like, "Oh, but they're so cute." And you're like, "No, not cute."
I mean, they are, but you don't know what's deep down.
Mm-hmm. 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 So true. But yes, children are great for social media.
Carolyn and Tess, do you guys have any conversations that you started, or anything you wanted us to take a look at or talk through before we finish up?
Yeah,
I
Carolyn.
have no responses from any of my conversations right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just kidding. I couldn't see Carolyn on the phone because,
that's okay. Your toad's outside.
well, actually, I can see.
Yes, I did, and she was going to join. She was going to join, but then she had some setbacks. And I just got done talking to her now is to touch base. So maybe this weekend, you and I can talk to her and see if we can get her in there. She just had some life happens, unexpected events. She was going to start my challenge group with Yvonne and I in November 7th, and she just didn't follow through. But that was because there were some unexpected things that happened.
Was she?
So I want to keep her on track.
Yeah, and those people, it's perfect. Those people we want to keep track of. But also, like, why it is that they didn't join. Like, did they not because life circumstances, either finances or life circumstances affected their time? Because how you approach them is going to be a little different.
Yeah, her circumstances were medical.
Okay, medical.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we're going to be hit, especially right now, with people that are saying, I don't have the money. It's Christmas. I can't possibly come up with any additional money to take care of myself right now. And that's where having Beachbody On Demand is a great way to get them in the door and a great way to get them starting to work on their health and fitness and see the value of that, especially since they just added Max 30 and Body Beast to the full library. So, when people are giving you money objections, especially around the holidays, they're starting to think about, I need to get in shape, but I can't afford it. Like, what a perfect opportunity to hit them and get them introduced. And when they do sign up for that, get them as a customer of yours. So even though it's a 30-day free trial, if they like it, you're going to start getting commission on it. But if not, if they cancel, they're still on your customer list when they do come around.
So anything you guys didn't get done, you can finish up. And then other things that happen in a power hour would be, Dawn and I talk about checking your Coach Online office for updates, checking your position, checking in on your coaches, checking in on your current challengers, posting in your challenge groups. Those are the other things that would happen in the rest of a power hour. And then you can kind of be done for the day once you've done all of these things, and you can move on tomorrow. And something I want to say that, so maybe some of us aren't as good about this, and I know Dawn and I go, like, she might disagree with me, but just because someone writes you back and you're not in your power hour doesn't mean you need to write them back right away. You do not need to stop what you're doing at dinner with your husband because someone wrote you back. I understand that you might be excited, and if you can, great, but you can wait until tomorrow when you're back in your power hour and do it when it's time to do it, and really honor your time, because that's a good way to spread yourself too thin. Now, like, Dawn's really good about being Johnny on the spot when people write her, and that's awesome. And I try to be, but if you can't, I don't want you to feel like you're going to lose a sale because you don't get them in the moment. You might, but you'll get them later. Sometimes if you get them in the moment, you might get them better. Like Dawn's really good about being there to get them in the moment. Super effective. You'll get them right away, but you're not going to never get them if you wait till your next power hour. Does that make sense? That's why we have it.
I don't totally disagree with Christine. The other thing with your power hour, print this out as a checklist. I put mine in a one of those, like the front of my plastic binder. So if you're like Tess, you're at home, you don't necessarily have a half hour to sit down with that cuteness that's all over you. So you sit down and you do 3 people, check it off. Next time you happen to walk by your computer, send 3 new messages, check it off. By the end of the day, you've done a power hour and it didn't feel like you worked at all. So you don't have to do this in a 30-minute chunk. As you guys are inviting people, because every month now the Fitfluence is doing sneak peeks. There's one on Monday. If you want to invite Carolyn, invite that girl even though she hasn't started her program yet. Hey, I'm so confident you're going to fall in love with this Shakeology. You're going to want to do what I do. Jump on this call with me. Jump on this call on Monday night and see what this thing is all about. Say, what I just did in a half an hour, I don't have to do in a half an hour in one chunk. I can do this throughout the day and slowly build a business. So you don't have to do it at one time. Just make sure you're doing these things every day.
And tracking.
If you actually do this every day, like actually do it every day, your business will explode. You know why Christine and I are where we are right now? We haven't done it every day. Our business would be freaking exploding. We all need to be more conscious. You do this every day, it's proven. It'll work. It'll work. And in the area that I struggle is tracking. So even I'm actually pretty good about like sitting down and writing people every day. Not so much about asking for a sale, but I don't track. So if you keep your tracking next to your laptop and you do Power Pockets, write it down, keep track. And Dawn and I might share that 7-step guide and talk about it a little bit as we go through next week. And maybe that can even be what we talk about next week is tracking and stuff. But we'll talk about some of the best tracking options we've seen, because there are a ton. The thing is, you just have to find what works for you, and that's the problem. With Christine and I, we're far enough along that we have so many people. It's like, how do we want to do this? Whereas you're starting, it's an awesome time because you can try a few different things and not be so derailed if one thing doesn't work. You jump to something else until you're comfortable. Because there's some great systems that are super effective. You just have to find what works for you. Word. I'm a nerd.
Thank you guys so much for being here. We really appreciate it. Seeing your faces makes this a lot more fun for us. So thank you, and we'll be here next week, same bat time, same bat channel.
Are we going to be here next week? Do we want to do that? It's day after Thanksgiving.
Oh, shoot. No, we don't. Sorry. You're right. Absolutely not. I want to honor family time, and I'm teaching class.
And Jeff
turns here, but I'm going to be working out.
Jeff turns 40.
Oh, yeah. So let's take next week off. Thank you, Dawn, for being aware of the calendar. And we'll get back on it December 2nd. Okay? And that'll be perfect. But before we go, real quick, live sneak peek Monday, 6:30 p.m. MST. That's 5:30 PST, 6:30 CST, 8:30 EST, blah, 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 blah. Live coach sneak peek. Dawn and I both get to be on it, so we're really excited. You're going to have some hot representation for your team, along with Taryn and other leaders. So try to get some people there. Just remind them that they can come in their pajamas, and it's super fun. And God bless you, Tess. And yeah.
And even if they're not at a point where they want to coach right now, just say, hey, do you want to know what this stuff is that I do? Like, I'm super stoked about it. You want to come check it out? And then if you ever want to, you know what it is.
Just come hang out with me and watch my goofy coaches and comment with me.
Yeah, because 2 of the 5 that are going to be on the call, your people will get to interact with any day they want. Just saying.
Okay, cool.
All right, word.
Happy Friday. Thank you guys for being here, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We'll see you Monday.
Word.
Bye, guys.